Hey, this is Gradigy with another HeroClix review, and this will probably be my last one before the Hammer of Thor set comes out. And not a lot of people know this about me, but my favorite set was probably the Mutants and Monsters, which is admittedly that's whenever I started collecting a game that was my first set of figures, was I started buying Mutants and Monsters. And I'm just going to review some of my favorite little groups out of that. This will be a two-part review. We'll start off with the zombies, just because they're easiest. I don't think any of them have any white boxes like that to complicate the review at all. And it is Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Giant Man with real Black Panther action. None of them really terrible figs. They're all actually pretty useful if you're going to use a monster team. You know, you have your basic giant fig with a little bit nicer features. 97 points for giant fig, charge, super strength, toughness with 18 defense, and then he gets outwit and perplex, so he's actually a pretty nice supporter as well. He eventually gets steel energy like you would expect a zombie to. Gets flurry, and he has either perplex or outwit for the majority of the dial, the last two clicks being blank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, and since he does have outwit and perplex, it would be smart to put the brilliant tactician for him for your monster team, which would just be awesome, because, I mean, not many monsters have that capability to use brilliant tactician. So if you're going to use a monster team, you definitely want the zombie giant man from Mutants and Monsters. And then Spider-Man. And the nice thing about this Spider-Man is that he's almost identical to every other Spider-Man, is what you would want, except with a bit nicer qualities. As you can see, I just dropped him. He's really cheap. 41 points. He has 10 attack, leap, climb. He never goes above one damage. Well, 1 base damage. He does have close combat expert for 3, which is another nice. You can put pounce on him, so that's awesome. And if you wanted, you could put like nano armor, I think, on him. I know a lot of people like to use pounce. I don't think I've ever actually used it. I don't even think I remember exactly what the parameters of the ability is, but I know he can use it. He does qualify for it. Like I said, 41 points for 10 attack and 3 damage. Leap, climb, super senses. And another nice feature that this Spider-Man has over other Spider-Mans is he gets steel energy. So, in 4 range like a Spider-Man normally would. And then the Wolverine. And I was considering doing a compare and contrast review where I would show this Giant Man and then compare him to the Giant Man from Avengers, and then I would do this Spider-Man and then compare him to the Spider-Man from Secret Invasion. And then I thought, I don't have any other Wolverines that could compare to this Wolverine. So he really breaks the mold as far as Wolverines go. So, I mean, if you don't like Wolverine, and I do hate Wolverine almost as much as I hate Batman, then this one is nice for you because it's not really a Wolverine. He has Power Cosmic, which is just downright awesome. Psychic Blast, Exploit Weakness, Running Shot, 8 range, 18 defense. And then he eventually gets Steel Energy like his zombie brethren. Goes back up to 11 attack. He never gets regeneration like you would expect Wolverine to, because he's a zombie. As you can see, he doesn't have an arm, so there's no reason for him to have regeneration. Keeps Exploit Weakness most of the dial. I think he's 7 clicks deep. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 clicks deep. Pretty nice figure, like I said. Not overly powerful, but just good enough to where he's useful. Like I said, the Power Cosmic is always nice to have on any figure. Especially this one, since he's so heavily reliant on his powers, because he doesn't really have any great damage values. I'm not really sure why they gave him Psychic Blast and Exploit Weakness, because since he's a flyer, he can do ranged attacks at melee. And in my opinion, it's a waste of points for that character. They could have just given him Psychic Blast and called it good. But I don't know. Maybe someone can explain that to me in the comments. That'd be great. And these are all nice to me because I enjoyed the storyline that these comes from. I haven't read the main storyline, but I really liked Marvel Zombies versus Army of Darkness, and I am looking forward to getting the main Marvel Zombies storyline. So there's them. The next group I'll be reviewing is going to be the Warbound from that set. And before you ask, no, Silver Surfer is not in this, because he may be in the event dial. He may have been released in the same set as the Silver Savage, but he does not have that keyword, so I will not review him. That, and I don't have him. Anyway, we'll start off with Korg, which in my opinion is a huge downplay on this character. He's got 16 defense with Impervious, which is about the only thing accurate about this character. He should be on par with the Thing. And he did take several hits from the Hulk in the comic and punched right back. He never gets any movement abilities. He never gets great defense or great damage. He was a huge letdown overall, because I was really excited when I got that figure. And if you have an Outwitter on him, he's just completely useless. Outwit is Impervious, and he's done. Then Miek, a little bit more useful than Korg. Not overly more useful, but does have movement powers. And Korg is 82 points of useless. Miek, charge, 3 damage with toughness, and then he gets flurry, and then combat reflexes with flurry. So I mean, and trying to remember what his white box was, and I don't. But I'll talk about him while I'm looking for him. He's pretty good. He's only in the 40 point range, I think 47. And he does, I don't think he ever drops below 2 damage. And the white box is charge and plasticity, so that's pretty nice too. So break away, punch someone else in the face. I'm running short on time, so I may just stop with those two and then start back up on here. And it may be a 3-part review, which would be mysterious. Who's he going to put in the 3rd part? I mean, who else is important from that? You'll just have to see in part 2 and 3. Laters.